facts of physical evidence.
If they want their monster, I'll give them their monster.
Oh, there we go.
Hi.
Ah,
Now we have,
I
now
pushed
we
the
have
button.
sound.
There was
Anyway.
there was a red blinking button, and it was just so mesmerizing. I didn't want to touch it.
At least the sound bar is moving. That's good.
Yes.
Means we're talking, people can hear us.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, everyone. Hello, ghost fans, hunters, and skeptics. Today is Wednesday, July 31st of 2019, and it's also, get this, National Cotton Candy Day.
Ooh.
Oh, my goodness. Now, cotton candy is a very popular confection at fairs and carnivals and sporting events.
Sporting events. I like sports.
Amusement parks.
I like No, don't forget the zoo.
Oh, the zoo. That's
The
right. Yeah,
zoo.
you used to sell it at the zoo, didn't you?
I did. It was it went from $2 to $3 to like $4 in like 2 years.
Wow. So it kind of pricey.
Yeah.
Went up with
It
inflation.
was a little tiny bag too.
Yeah, and cotton candy is almost all sugar. So
It takes like 5 cents to make a bag.
so anyway, so if you want to get a really good sugar rush, just go eat some cotton candy because that's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
Spun and heated up and spun into that thing, and it comes out as this big, fluffy, gooey, messy stuff.
Not gooey, it's fluffy.
Yeah, but as soon as it gets wet, it gets all icky.
In your opinion, okay. It turns into a rock.
Right. But do you know who actually created it? Dentists.
To like.
I don't know, to get more people, I don't know, to get more clients to come in.
Yes.
Yeah, actually dentists, which is kind of weird. But it was introduced around the turn of the century at one of the world's fairs. So, it's been around for a long, long time. And they sell it at Ringling Brothers circuses back in the early 1900s also.
Nice.
So that was something special there.
Nice.
Yep.
Cotton candy is amazing. As long as your teeth can handle it.
Yep. And it's actually observed twice a year.
Wait.
July 31st and December 7th.
December 7th.
Which is Pearl Harbor Day, but I don't know if there's a correlation between cotton candy and Pearl Harbor, but...
Like, was the dude who invented it, like, born that day or something? And...
I didn't really get into it very well, but, yeah, it's celebrated twice, so it must be really popular, actually. So to have 2 days that it celebrates on.
I think there's, like, 3 brownie days.
No, brownies are good, though.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different cookie days.
Yeah. And throughout the ages, it's been called weird names like fairy floss.
That's probably where it got the name, or the dentist called that,
Yeah.
right?
And sugar floss, which makes no sense whatsoever.
Floss.
But floss. But as soon as it hits your teeth, it, like, melts.
So as it gets wet, it melts.
Yeah, exactly. Then it gets all icky and gooey. Anyway, I'm your candy is dandy, but liquor is quicker host, Tom. And somewhere in the studio is the founder of Atlantic Paranormal and cotton candy confectioner, Becky. And also in the studio is I like blue cotton candy because it makes my lips turn purple, the unpaid intern Phoenix.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We have a great show planned for you tonight, as we do every show. Now sit back, relax, and allow us to be your guide into the familiar unknown.
Skeptics ain't gonna think so. Yes, it's the Skeptics ain't gonna think so.
Hello, Ghost fans. Welcome back. To those of you new to our show, let me tell you who we are at the Skeptic Sanctum. We might be a group of people that may or may not live in a dark basement full of enchanted items needed to destroy any kind of evil mythological monster or demon should they rise up against humanity. Or we are just a team of individuals interested in the paranormal and the supernatural who simply want to believe, but we also want proof, and of course, we want the facts. And now for the format of our show, because we are not your normal paranormal show. It is our goal at the Skeptic Sanctum to take you, the paranormal fans, the ghost hunters, supernatural skeptics, and others on a humorous yet informational ride through the paranormal genre. And our formula is simple. We are 25% facts, like facts, 25% fun, because if it's not fun, it's no good, 25% beer, because that's what keeps me in the chair, and 25% stuff we make up as we go along, just to keep it real.
Tom, I have some horrible news to break to you. We're sitting on stools.
Yeah.
These aren't chairs.
Thank you for sharing that. Anyway, a bundle of cotton candy costs about $7 at a Cleveland Monsters hockey game in downtown
They're
Cleveland.
bigger than babies.
We at the Skeptic Sanctum always give you, the ghost fans, supernatural skeptics, paranormal pundits, ectoplasm collectors, and whomever else is listening, 107% of pure paranormal education, entertainment, and fun. And, as always, we are live for tonight's show.
We are?
Yep, in fact, we are always live somewhere in a space-time continuum. Especially tonight. And possibly we were live somewhere in the past. But we are always live someplace. And yes. Did we lose something? Oh, no, here I am.
I just keep moving things on you.
Anyway. And now for tonight's show.
What's tonight's show, Dad?
Well, tonight's show is we're going to take a look back through some of the Skeptic Sanctum and paranormal, our paranormal teams, Lantern Paranormal's archives of stuff that's happened in the past and share with you and sort of reminisce about some of the shows we've had in the past and some of the places we've been to, some of the ghost hunts we've investigated on, and whatnot.
Like, the first time I went ghost hunting.
Like the first time you went ghost hunting.
Yeah, that's a good time. I was thinking back on it. I was at a friend's birthday party, and the sun was getting ready to set, and Mom called.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, just checking on you. Tom and I are gonna go on an adventure. And, yeah, we're gonna go do this thing. We won't be back for a while. Can you find a way home or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, I can get a ride home.
Where you guys going, though?
Yeah. I'm like, what you guys doing? And, next thing I know, I'm telling them never mind about the, whole going on a, adventure with friends after the party, because the party was going to go until like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, so I probably would have had them still pick me up to begin with. But I was like, you know what? Even I'm going to miss this bonfire and go do this thing. Well, what was this thing? We were going to...
The Bell Nursing Home.
Yeah, the Bell Nursing Home down in...
Kim Bolton, Ohio.
Mm-hmm. That's so far away. And I remember they were both like, all right, well, you need to be, like, ready to go as soon as we get there. And I was like, hey, best friend there, are you cool if I bail on your party to go ghost hunting? This is kind of like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
But they all wanted to come, too.
Yeah. As Tom starts throwing equipment all over the
Sorry.
place. Getting all excited.
Woo!
This was the beginning to our adventure into the paranormal. Our true adventure. I mean, our whole lives were pretty paranormal.
So that was with another paranormal team from Akron.
Do you remember which team, or did they disband?
I think they disbanded now. Yeah, it was Dave that was in charge of it. He had a bunch of people down there, and I don't know how we found out about it.
I think Mom was friends with the dude.
Yes, on Facebook or something. So.
And he had been talking about wanting to do something,
But it, for a first ghost hunt, for those of our friends out there that have had the chance to go with us to the Bell Nursing Home down in Kim Bolton, I think we've been there probably at least 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, 4 or 5, I think, actually.
Yeah.
You've been there, I think, 1 time less than we have because you were working your allergies or something.
Right, of course, yeah.
You didn't want to go.
Yeah, I'm sure that was it. Just didn't want to go. But yeah, it was I didn't really go in at all. I went in once, and because you had to pay to go in, and I didn't pay.
They let him come in to use the bathroom, though.
Yeah,
and hang out in the.
Ate some pizza.
Yeah, they let him hang out after a while. At some point, they just kind of let him come in.
Yeah, and then that's when I had my first. I don't know if it was an encounter with the paranormal, but as I'm walking through the building, I came across this dark, empty doorway. The door was either open or wasn't there, and it just felt really creepy. And I told somebody, says, you know what, you guys need to check out this room. I don't know what's in there, but it's creepy. And sure enough, it was the room where they had a lift that would they take from, this is a nursing home, and they could take a person out of a wheelchair on this straps and pulleys and stuff, and it would lift them up and put them into this walk-in bathtub thing.
Except it wasn't walk-in.
Yeah, they had to actually lift them up and then put them down in it. So, but it was just kind of creepy. So people still, urban legend is, oh my, they left somebody in there to drown, or, they put them in with boiling hot water.
Well, that was actually an issue they actually had, where the attendants weren't paying attention to the water.
I'm sure that happened.
You could definitely accidentally put somebody in with the water way too high.
Or way too cold.
Oh, yeah, or way too cold.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
Just drop somebody in freezing cold water.
I don't want to go in the tub. Get in there, old man.
Whoosh.
It's too cold, so quit your whining.
Just drop them in, they'll be fine.
They'll be fine, yeah. Let them splash around. Here's a rubber ducky.
Yeet.
Squeak.
Yeet the toy into the tub while they're flailing around.
So your
times.
first ghost son, how'd that go?
It was pretty wild. I guess this is when we should go ahead and pull a picture up if I can find it. This is it right here. If I remember correctly, this is roughly how it happened. If I can get it to do the thing. Copy. Nope. I'm having issues.
The pictures aren't working? Maybe it's their format.
Maybe.
So I just copied them from Facebook. We're trying to get a picture in there so you guys can see what we're talking about. Hopefully we'll get one in there.
Hopefully.
There's a lot of pictures of the Bell Nursing Home in there. Ooh, the screen's really big.
Yeah.
That's a picture of your leg.
Yeah, I know it's a picture of my leg. So I was minding my own business, just doing my own thing. And next thing I know, I am feeling this really weird sharp pain in my leg. Just sitting on the floor. We were in the Bell Nursing Home, and I think we were in the living room. And I'm just literally just minding my own business, sitting there as they were doing their investigation. I wasn't paying 100% attention, but I know they were asking some pretty weird questions. And eventually one of the questions was hey, did you do insulin or something weird like that? And well, next thing I know, I feel this stabbing pain, like somebody's driving a needle or a knife into my leg. And well, right here is a picture of my wound after about an hour later. After I hey, ow, I had a really sharp pain in my leg. Everybody ignored me. We went back to the break room and time passed, and I looked down, I'm like, whoa, that's new. Because I was one of the few times I wore shorts, if I remember correctly, because I was planning on being at a party with a bunch of girls, but then I left. So I wasn't very prepared for ghost hunting.
Yeah.
But there's just this little tiny pinhole in my leg that wasn't there before. This was like, we didn't really see many bugs or anything at this place this time around. It was kind of weird.
That'd be a big bug. Because it doesn't look like a mosquito bite.
No, my leg's kind of not that small either. I've always been a little fluffy for the past, 5 years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not a small bite. But that was the Bell Nursing Home. Do we have any other pictures of
Oh,
that?
yeah, we have pictures and signs and everything.
Looks like I get to add everything in manually.
Oh, yuck.
Oh, joy. Da-da-da-da. So, why don't you talk a little bit more about the Bell Nursing Home for a minute?
Well, the Bell Nursing Home, we've had a bunch of different adventures there. We've taken some of our friends there before.
Mm-hmm.
Shirley Squirrel has gone there with us.
This is it right here, right?
Yep, that's it right there. A guy from the office went with us one time.
Yeah.
And other ghost hunting friends have gone there. It's a nice, safe place to go, so as far as investigating things, the Bell Nursing Home was a private residence, it was a funeral home, and it was a hospital at one time, and it wound up in its later years being a nursing home, and it just closed like 10 or 12 years ago.
Yeah, I think it was 2012.
Yeah,
It
so
closed,
it
or 2008.
was, I think 2008. It was open for, when we went there. It was, hadn't been closed very long, and it still had all the beds and furniture and stuff. I mean, a lot of stuff was gone or removed from it, but in general terms, most of the stuff was still there, which made it even more creepier.
More creepier?
Even more creepier. But good times there. We had when Greg and his family went with us, they had these two big fire doors, and they did not move the whole time we were there. They were like magnetic. For some reason, when he walked through that door, because I think he pissed some ghosts off, maybe.
Yeah, he was doing that thing you're not supposed to do, which is
Entice the ghosts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the doors closed on him, and these doors had not moved any other time I've been in this nursing home. And as soon as he walked through the door, and they closed fast, it was like, wow. And we tried to debunk that, and just couldn't figure out what mechanism was triggered that took those magnets off and forced those doors to close.
Yeah.
So
I think there was like a switch on the back side of the magnet things. So you could
Right.
turn them off there, like a little light switch almost.
Right. But there was nothing that he did or anybody else did at the time that forced those doors to close.
Right.
So, like I said, we've been there a number of times. It was a good haunt. I'd say a safe place to go.
Yeah, it was definitely pretty good.
And it sort of reminds me of Hillview Manor a little bit, but on a very, a way smaller scale.
Yeah. Oh, what else should we talk about today? What's this one from? This is a pretty interesting picture. I know you were with John and Danielle.
Right.
This is a picture I think everyone's seen before too.
Right. A neat story, and we try to have fun on these adventures when we go on. And I think this picture was taken when we were at Hillview. I think.
Was it?
Was it Hillview?
I know we were staying at a hotel, so it might have been Hillview because I think didn't we do a convention there where we stayed the night?
Right. Well, anyway, we were driving around looking for some lunch, and we saw this graffiti written on an old gas station.
So you didn't put that there?
I did not put that
the
there.
The gang's members who beat you up didn't put that there either.
No. I just, I woke up here after a night of heavy drinking, and there I was, so.
Well, at least they found you.
Yeah, I was found.
Yeah, that would have been bad if like something didn't happen.
No, I still had all my clothes.
Had
my wallet.
You had your wallet.
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah, cell phone. I had everything.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy times. I have fun on there.
Let's see. Do I have a picture of John and Danielle in here?
No, we don't. We have a picture of Danielle in there someplace.
I saw John in one of these pictures.
Or maybe John Shahady. Oh, there's a Bell Nursing Home sign.
Oh, there's a Bell Nursing Home sign?
Mm-hmm.
What about the wheel? Look at that one. There we go. Do-do-do-do-do-do. My pictures are all being stubborn.
Yeah, so it's a sign of the Bell Nursing Home.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if it's still open anymore.
I think they did close, yeah.
Yeah. Now, the one sad thing about some of these places, that we've been investigating at, they're getting tired.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of the buildings do not have electricity or running water throughout the whole building.
Right.
So they're starting to deteriorate a little bit. And the way I've been feeling lately, especially with the asthma kicking off, it's been very difficult for me to go into some of these places and actually, do an investigation for long term, because it just sets me off. So so it's been difficult.
What about this place?
And that's one that we were just at recently.
Yeah, I think we were supposed to do a show on it, and then we didn't.
Right, we didn't do a show on it. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
And now we did a live feed from that, via Facebook Live, as we were leading up to the investigation there. And this place here was, the Atwood Nursing or Care Center, and this place here must have been, if you walked into a place that a murder could happen here, this is the place, because I think there should be a picture. That's the main entrance, I think. Yeah. And it was spooky, and those of you that saw the live feed when we were going in, this is what the building looked like as we walked into it.
Yeah, it looks like just a door in the trees.
Right. And this, it's like, wow. Talk about a haunted location. I'm surprised it hadn't been, vandalized and stuff more. But in just, 5 or 6 years, the what used to be a front yard was full of all these trees that have grown up. So you could barely, if at all, see the building from the road.
I didn't see the building from the road.
We pulled into an old gas station. It says, "This is what we're investigating." No, we're investigating over there. Mm-hmm. And all you see is a clump of trees with a door.
I remember the way I found the location was I was told there was like a tire place. It was like a Conrad's or something. And there's this old truck. And there's a picture of the building and the old truck. Oh, I'm whipping it around these buildings, through these woods in this weird place in the middle of nowhere. I'm not doing the speed limit. Definitely not. Stop touching things. You're making noises.
Oh, sorry.
So anyways, it was just like...
I didn't do anything.
Not doing much, just driving along, and suddenly I see this big old blue truck. I don't got any pictures of it here, but it was a big old blue pickup truck. I don't remember if it was a Ford or a Chevy, but it was one of those two. And, that's just how I found it. I saw this truck, and I slammed on the brakes, I whipped it in.
Oh, we told you where it was and what to look for.
Yeah, you told me to look for this building in a truck, and I found it because there was this truck sitting there in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, oh, look, a clearing. Yeet! I threw my car right into the gravel, and then I was there, and I think I almost hit Drake. I almost hit somebody who was standing near there.
Yeah.
If I didn't slow down enough.
Yeah, the flare picture was Drake. See if I'm going to post that.
Yeah, I'll pull up Drake and we'll show off his flare image. If I can get it to expand.
So those of you who don't know Drake, this is Drake. Voila.
Yeah. It's a lovely picture of Drake. How did we meet Drake?
Probably on a ghost hunt. No, I think maybe a Hillview.
It was a Hillview?
Yeah, I'm thinking Hillview at one of the conventions.
Which?
One of the Paracons they had there. And then, he invited us as a show to go down to the Carnegie.
Mm-hmm. I can definitely
down in
one of those.
Pittsburgh. And that was always fun.
Yeah, it was.
Good times there. I don't know, do we have a picture of the library in there? I don't remember if I saw one or not.
Maybe.
Yeah, the Carnegie Library of Homestead. I know we did a couple shows on that. We've actually... Oh, that might have been a picture of it.
Up?
The building, that maybe?
No.
No.
I'm not sure what that is.
No, I didn't see any pictures of Carnegie as I was going through the photos.
See Mansfield. Even though I don't think we've...
That's not Mansfield.
What is that?
That's Moundsville.
Oh, it's Moundsville?
Yeah.
Oh, have we been to Moundsville?
Just during the day.
Oh. Well, we've been there during the
prison.
day, I guess.
Yeah.
So we don't have any pictures of us at Carnegie, but it's one of the pictures that I usually use for one of our opening things.
Yeah, good times.
Of
We've
us
been- we've
with
been
the
there.
banner holding it up, and there's a bunch of strangers around us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friends,
Oh yeah.
not strangers.
To the people of the internet who don't know. I think this is it here. Here's one. Raven and I.
Oh yeah, that's a picture of the.
That's a big picture.
Yike, caramba! It'll take up the whole screen.
If I can get it small enough.
There we go.
Yeah, just right over our faces.
Fine.
Duh.
Transition.
Ha!
Carnegie. There we go. Nice.
Yep. Hiding Dad's face. Yeah, this is Raven and I standing there in Carnegie. Do you remember all the hot spots, and do you remember any of your favorite hot spots?
Well, this was actually a big community center library. It had a big theater type auditorium. It had a gymnasium. It had a fitness room. Had an indoor swimming pool.
Wasn't the swimming pool in the basement?
Yes.
Yes.
And it had it was a fully functioning library. So we were in there overnight after it closed. And, talking to the library staff, a lot of them who worked there had experienced things. And while we were there, a book just somehow fell off a shelf.
A book fell off a shelf.
Yeah, for no apparent reason, a book. And we witnessed this. There was like 3 or 4 of us that witnessed it.
Oh, wasn't it like Stephen King's
It was
book?
It was one of Stephen King's books.
It was his new book that just came out.
And this was like 3 or 4 years ago. It was just sitting on the shelf by itself, and then it's been there like for days, weeks.
They said they'd put it out a couple days ago.
And all of a sudden, it falls on the floor, makes a huge noise, boom!
And it scares the bejeebies out of this chick who was like walking out of this room that was near the shelf.
Yeah, it was nuts. So
wild.
So it was nuts, and I just remember talking to the people. We did a lot of interviews from there too.
We did there. I remember there was the Raven was always like all over that basketball. Yeah. That game. That
We got an EVP. Another team went up there. Some of the people that work with Drake.
Yeah, the gymnasium was upstairs. Like there's the main floor, and there's the basement with the pool, and then upstairs is where the gym was.
Well, they went up there and got an EVP of what sounded like a basketball game in progress. Bouncing balls, squeaky shoes, and like whistles.
Yeah, and we eventually at some point, whenever after they came down, and it was like weeks or months later, somebody had sent us the video clip of them all sitting in there, and you can actually, like, 2 people were moving during this thing, and they got up, they walked over to another spot, and they sat down.
So they weren't making any, and they didn't hear it at the time.
Yeah, they didn't hear. They were just
They
going
were up
back
there,
through
it
trying
was
to
quiet.
listen for their EVPs,
and that's when they found it and or heard it and like, wow. And we actually went up after we heard the EVP ourselves. A team of us went up to try to duplicate that same, see if we could get it to happen again. But unfortunately, there was too much residual noise, outside noise from other parts of the library, echoing up through the stairwells and hallways and stuff, that we couldn't get it quiet enough to hear anything.
yeah, they got really lucky, and I think that's just amazing.
One of the weirdest, EVPs I've ever heard before, and it was kind of interesting.
It was definitely a wild trip. One of my favorite things was the downstairs in the pool. Apparently, there's a entity that hangs out inside the pool, and it just kind of hangs out down there. You'll see it in the pool sometimes. You'll think there's somebody there, and then suddenly there isn't. And like this ball gets thrown around in the pool occasionally, sometimes too. Not like moving with the currents, no, like actually like smacked around the pool and like moving against the currents and stuff.
Right.
That's pretty cool. Then there's like apparently like two old ladies who hang out on the stairs. I thought that was hilarious because we were talking to the janitor who's been there for decades.
Right.
And he was like, yeah, I just like hear voices once in a while and it's really weird. It sounds like women or something. And I think somebody had gotten a small EVP from it, and two different psychics who had not talked to this janitor. And we had heard them talking, and they were like, wow, it's like there's these two old ladies who are just like hanging out here. And they were like, yeah, it's so weird. They like keep talking about some guy, and they gave it the name of the dude, and it turns out that was the name of the janitor. It's really weird. Really cool. But speaking of places that are actually currently in use of today, there is this one. Where's this at, Dad? And who is that? I think that's you.
Oh, Conneaut.
Yeah, one of my favorite places.
Wow, Lake Conneaut, Pennsylvania. Now the cool thing, it's an old hotel. Now this place here during its heyday back in the 40s and 50s, probably the mecca for this part of the country, like going to the Catskills. This was probably the premier resort with a big lake, swimming, water skiing, gourmet dining, and an amusement park.
Yeah, and the amusement park is actually in use.
Yeah, it's still in use. But when it's off season, it's not fenced in. There's actually houses like inside the park. So people live there. And I know we've posted pictures of that before, but that's me on the carousel.
Living out his dreams.
Yes.
I think
My dreams.
that's there too, but I'm not sure who that is.
Is that Laura?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's Conneaut.
Okay. Is that Conneaut?
That's Farnham Manor.
Oh. I'm trying to find a picture of outside of Conneaut, but
I know we've got enough, go back through our archives and you'd find enough pictures of Conneaut. We've been there enough times and done enough videos and interviews and everything. So,
well, who's this?
I
haven't seen this person in a while. And it's like their image escapes me or something.
like out of sight, out of mind. People don't know what you're talking about.
I know.
Hasn't transitioned.
I know. As I'm trying to get rid of the old picture and put the new one there. Who is this?
Whoa. Ra'uan, I think, isn't it?
Ra'uan?
Ra'uan something?
Ra'uan?
Yeah.
Oh, God. It's been so long.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, that's Raven.
That's Raven. That's the old co-host.
Yeah.
And we all miss her dearly.
She's in Louisiana now.
She's in a better place now.
She's in a better place.
We all miss her dearly.
She's coming back.
I know she's coming to visit in like a week or two.
Yeah.
But like it's I think it's funnier to like talk about her like she's like there was a tragic accident or something. Cause it's like
Why not?
she's a 17-hour drive away.
Yeah, they're flying though.
I know that's still a flight. So
Yeah.
that's a long drive. That's like a couple thousand miles.
Yeah.
Or 1,500.
Well, you drove it.
I did. It was long.
Yeah.
I hated every second of it. I love driving.
Yeah, it was a long drive.
Mm-hmm. But she is doing well. What? Do you remember going on any ghost hunts with Raven?
Ghost hunts with Raven. I think everywhere we went, Raven went with us.
For the most part, she did, but not all of them.
No.
Do you remember running off with Raven, going on any weird adventures during any of our ghost hunts? Because I know you two went off together sometimes.
Yeah, it was fun. She liked sitting at the table though,
I know.
and manning the store because she is one of the she'd do a lot of interviews
Oh yeah.
and stuff, and she was good at it, and some of the things she did for the Skeptic Sanctums in the early years, was phenomenal.
May she be missed.
Yeah, she's missed.
Yes. The good days.
Yeah, I miss checking out YouTube. I plugged in Skeptic Sanctum. It has a whole bunch of our shows.
And then some other stuff.
Yeah, other stuff that I wouldn't worry about them, but
And there's a couple from Raven's channel. There's our stuff.
yeah, lots of live streams. Oh, it's only 5 seconds. I don't know what that was.
That was one that kind of didn't broadcast because of the internet.
Yeah.
Who's this guy?
Who's this guy? I'm not sure who that guy is. He looks familiar.
He just looks familiar. What if we talk about... Oh, that's Greg.
That's great. Yeah, we're going through pictures here before we share them. Yeah, that was one of your interviews.
Yeah, that was like the best interview I've ever done.
Yeah.
I guess we talk about this guy.
He's an author.
He is an author. I feel bad because I think we got a copy of the book, didn't we?
Yeah, I think so.
I never read the book. I just interviewed him, asked him a lot of questions, and I like skimmed through the book, and I just kind of like sat there, skimmed through it 5 minutes, and then I just laid on the questions, and he was just like blown away by all these questions. I don't remember what I asked him. I don't really 100% remember exactly what the book was about, but I want to say it was his personal experiences in the ghost community, and his experiences as like growing up and all that fun stuff. And I remember like asking him just like some basic like author questions, and just like, what was your first like real experience? If you wouldn't mind mentioning some of this, even though it's probably in the book, or what got you to write the book, and just other various what I at the time I thought were just decent questions, not like mind altering, but apparently they were really good questions. One of these days I'll have to find that interview and see if I can't just put it somewhere.
Yeah, we should start just playing all those old interviews.
And that's what we do instead of like show up here.
Yeah. Well, we maybe on the off weeks we just have a channel and we just like replay all the Skeptic Sanctum stuff.
Yeah.
24/7. Oh my gosh.
Oh god. Oh no, I don't think who would watch that?
I don't know. I'm just playing 24/7. I don't know. Somebody might come in and like, what the heck is this? Oh my gosh.
Well, when I know what happens to me when at night, if I just like leave YouTube on autoplay and it just keeps going and going and going, I'll wake up to like a 24+ hour stream that's been going for 3 days, and I'm like, what is this? And they're talking about aliens that started farming on Earth, or like how the pyramids were actually made, and all this other weird stuff, and how science is just a ruse. And I'm like, oh.
And how the moon is hollow, and it's
Yeah.
a base full of hibernating aliens.
Pretty much every morning when
Yeah.
I wake up, that's what I wake up to. I wake up to aliens. Everyone's not from Earth. We aren't all humans. We're all aliens. Oh. That'd be pretty interesting. That's just a 24/7 Skeptics Sanctum thing.
Oh my gosh.
That'd be terrifying.
I'd be tuned into that all the time.
Uh-huh. Sure you would.
Ooh.
I wonder what this is. Is this supposed to
Oh,
be like the first time you...
No. This is actually a picture of when we did an episode of the Skeptic Sanctum talking about Slender Man.
It is?
That's a picture. That's just one of the renderings of Slender Man.
Are you sure it looks like a Hat Man? Because that does not look like a Slender Man
Well,
to me at
that's
all.
the picture we used.
Why?
I don't know.
It's inaccurate. Maybe we should talk about whenever you first saw your first ghost.
No.
But it's a good story.
I think that was just one of the background pictures we used for Slender Man.
I think Tom's just trying to get out of confessing his fear at the moment of...
They've already heard this before.
But it's still funny. I've been hearing it for 21 and a half years.
Oh my god.
I still think it's funny. So Tom, what do you know about Hatmen? Or shadow people?
They scare me as the first ghost I ever saw.
Have you seen any since then?
No, not a one.
I thought I caught a picture of one once. I don't know what happened to it, but we were at this place, the Cortland Opera House.
Now, I remember that picture. It was creepy.
It was so terrifying. So, I'm just minding my own business, taking pictures from the kid. Okay, so the Cortland Opera House, it was like, you go down the stairs, and that's where they had their dining area thing. They had a kitchen right at the bottom of the stairs, and you keep walking, there's the
Tables
and stuff.
Dining room, yeah.
Yeah, and there's a giant window in between the two, so you can serve food out the window versus coming around and going out and stuff.
Right.
Well, I'm just sitting in the kitchen, leaning out the counter, out the window, snapping pictures of the dining room to see if I catch anything weird.
And it was really dark.
It was so dark. I didn't have my flash on. I was just taking pictures off the ambient darkness.
Yes.
And suddenly I see a figure just in the middle of the screen. And I'm like, what the heck? And I take another picture and it moves closer. I'm like, oh shit. And I take another picture and it moves even closer. And I'm like,
stop. Okay, now.
I'm getting excited.
We actually had this picture and we during one of our shows we brought that picture on board. And I think it was before we were doing video, but we could share pictures or something.
No, this was, I think, maybe, that might have been, was this right before we left the King Network?
Yes.
So yeah, we were using their chat room.
Right, and we were posting these pictures, and so we showed the picture, then we started lightening it up.
Mm-hmm.
And then the figure in the picture got really disturbing.
So I'm back to the Cortland Opera House. I'm taking the pictures, and suddenly it comes up to the counter, and it's a dad.
This guy.
It was a living, breathing dad.
But
it scared the bejeebies out of me.
But that's how in the paranormal field how you debunk stuff, because had I just turned around and went back the other way, you would have thought that you had a shadow figure.
Yeah. Well,
and I didn't see you either because it was dark.
What was hilarious too is I completely forgot about this. So a couple months go by, and that's when we start actually talking about the Cortland Opera House. Maybe not a couple months. I think it was maybe a month and a half at most. And I'm like, oh guys, cool! Look at this photo. I think I got a shadow figure. And I was really excited again, forgetting my previous disappointment. And next thing I know, I'm lightening up the picture because I'm on my own. This was actually right before we did the show because we were looking at stuff for the show. I lightened up the picture and I feel the life leave my body for a moment. I think Raven was there too when I was doing it, and I think she was just like, "Are you okay?" It was Dad.
Yeah. So, but that's part of the paranormal. What we do in paranormal is debunk this stuff. Not everything is a ghost. Now there are some people out there that believe every shadow, every noise,
every orb
is paranormal or supernatural. when in reality, probably less than 1% of all that stuff can't be explained for one reason or another. And this was I think we used that show to prove a point that you can't take a picture at face value. So as we use different filters to lighten up that picture, voila, I appeared. That was creepy. Very creepy.
Let's see.
You know, and talking about another time when you think, you know, you get scared and you think you see a ghost, when we were down at the down in Southern Ohio, the big old building.
The one with the baby scream?
Yes.
Was that Middletown?
Yes.
That was the Thompson building.
The J.C. Thompson building in not East Liverpool, but somewhere
like that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, J.C. Thompson building was pretty much a condemned building. You know, it was piecemealed together. I mean, it had a lot of businesses throughout the history. It had a butcher shop in it at one time. Oh, yeah.
This thing.
Yep, that's J.C. Thompson building. And this is one of the keys, supposedly, from what used to be the brothel.
Ooh, brothel stuff.
Yes.
And there's a little business card on the back.
Yeah, so that's you know, I mean, it is a pretty, you know, cool looking building. Those of you that can see it.
Hold up. Let me see this.
And the town at one time was tunneled because it was right on the banks of the Ohio River, and they didn't want like coal carts coming up through the
Nope, that's not gonna help either.
through the street, so they had tunnels from the, you know, the barges would come up, they could unload them and push carts up through the tunnels instead of, you know, cluttering up the streets. So the building had tunnels that went into like other storefronts, but the tunnels down to the lake have been bricked up a long time ago. But anyway, some of the tunnels were still open, and I was crawling around some of the storefronts and went through a hole that had yellow tape, but it fell down. So of course, since the yellow tape was not there anymore, I said, "Oh, I can go in here." So I did.
Yeah,
And as I'm going up into this other storefront, and you know, there was, you know, disarray and stuff falling down. Oh yeah, the J.C. Thompson building. You found it. Wow.
Yeah.
And I scared the bejesus out of myself. I had a flashlight on my head, and as I came up into this one storefront, and I was moving my head this way, a shadow went across the wall the opposite direction.
Oh joy!
Oh my gosh!
I heard him, like, if I remember, he got really quiet for a second. He's like, "Phoenix, I think there's something in here."
Yeah, but then I debunked it myself and said, okay, no, it was just the shadow. There was
Yep, it was East Liverpool.
Yeah, East Liverpool. So some of the insulation and ceiling tiles had come down and was like hanging from the ceiling, and my headlight caught it, and the shadow went the opposite direction. So it was pretty spooky.
I bet. Let me see if I can get the picture of it to pop up right
In all its glory.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get a picture of the J.C. Thompson. It's a really neat place. I mean, you know, it was a radio station, it was a butcher shop, it was other stores. I mean, it was apartments, it was a brothel. I mean, you know, a host of other businesses have been in there over the years. It's a, you know, a 100-year-old building or more, so it looks kind of cool from the outside.
We gotta say hi to Shirley.
Hey, Shirley, welcome to the show.
For however long you've been here, we know you're here. It's almost the end of the show, Tom.
Oh my gosh, and we got so much more to talk about.
There's so many things we could talk about.
There is so much we can talk about.
We've been around for so long.
we have. Looking back, we do have a lot of shows.
We do. We've talked about fairies. We've talked about Loch Ness monsters. We've had a lot of guests.
Yeah.
Like
David Omen.
Yeah, David Omen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of our. We've had him on the show a couple times.
I think our most famous person.
Yeah, I think he was. If you don't know David Omen, he's his house in Hollywood has been on all the major ghost shows on television. You know, because it has connections to where Sharon Tate was killed through the Manson killings.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the house next door down the street or whatever.
But it's apparently always had some creepy stuff going on it too.
Right, and having him on the show was a lot of fun, and he's always a hoot.
Yeah.
So.
I think like there's like 5 or 6 times where he was just kind of like, "You guys could totally come stay with me," and I'm like, He sounds like he'd be like a fun drinking buddy, but I'd also be a little terrified. He also says he has to warn his like house guests and his friends to be careful what they grab out of the fridge because he makes all of his pets homemade food.
Yeah.
And so I'm like,
ooh, this pate is very good.
What's this? So.
Well, you can eat it if you want, but that's the dog's food.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean,
fun.
From the sounds of it, though, it probably doesn't have anything that isn't edible in it. He probably actually like cooks all the meat and all that in it too.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd kind of have to, but he was a real hoot. Who else did we have on who was pretty cool?
I mean, just some of the other ghost hunters we've had on the show.
Yeah.
You know, Chris Maggard and Drake. Roger Chambers, our friend from Pennsylvania, had him on a couple times. You know, these are either local ghost hunters or, you know, people we met along the way. Lots of authors.
Oh yeah, lots of authors. How many times have we like interviewed somebody over a book we never read? I feel bad saying that.
All of them.
But I don't read nonfiction very often. I mostly read a lot of like. It's either straight nonfiction science stuff. It's usually not biographies or autobiographies or anything. It's pretty out there stuff. Gotta learn about them sciences.
Yep.
And all the fairies that you possibly can.
Oh,
and dragons
joy.
And shapeshifters and vampires and space stuff. That's definitely not real.
What?
What? That's
not real?
Space is real. I'm just talking about like Star Trek and Stargate and
oh yeah,
Terminator.
I thought those were documentaries. Anyway, well, I want to thank everybody who joined us tonight to this trip through memory lane. There are so many things that we could talk about. You know, places we've been to, investigations we've gone on, people we've interviewed over the years. And I was going through our YouTube channel and looking at all the shows that we've had out there. It's like, wow, we have had
if I remember
quite
correctly,
a few shows.
We have a little portable hard drive, and it has like 100 shows on it that I've never converted, that I need to convert. So one of these days, I'm going to just kind of like plug it in and just let it play.
And so these are shows that before we were doing video, though.
Yes.
And, you know, we had call-ins at the time, and that's what we're trying to get back to here, too, is have some call-ins.
We always will accept guests and all that. We just kind of need to, like, get that all set up. Or if somebody's, like, sees this and we're live currently, they can message us, and as long as we see it, we'll be like, yeah, sure. We can, like, we'll let you call in. We're currently using Discord because that's the only thing I've figured out how to use for OBS, which is our current broadcasting software. But if anyone has any other cool things that don't eat up hardware, like, I am a strong believer of not using Skype. I don't use Skype. Yeah, it's hurting me too many times. It broke my heart.
Oh my gosh.
It did. It like killed one of my computers. So I don't use it very often. I don't know what else
so
anyone
just
else would
on
use.
YouTube, we see live on the lake. It's I guess when we And that was 4 years ago when we interviewed the Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah. Well, this was like almost a year after we had already done it too.
Yeah. Skeptics Sanctum, we learned ESP.
Oh yeah.
We were practicing ESP. I don't think it turned out very well.
Yeah, I think it was like 50%.
Yeah, so it was like random guesses.
Yeah.
A Halloween seance at the Farnham Manor House.
Yeah, that was a hit and miss one because I kept having issues with the.
Or was
connectivity.
that at the Green Pit or the other store? Books and Nooks.
This one was Books and Nooks, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's because that one's on Raven's channel.
Yep. Interviewing Steve Fisher, one of our ghost hunting friends.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember Steve Fisher. I don't remember a lot of people. If I met him again, I probably would.
Yeah, so... Oh, live at the Hotel Conneaut.
Yeah, it's just like...
Haunted Travels. That was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, just looking through there. So if you want to watch us more or listen to more, just go look for Skeptic Sanctum on YouTube, and you could find a whole host of shows.
Oh, yeah.
With us.
Slew of things.
A whole buttload of...
A whole buttload, you say. Goodness.
A whole buttload.
Sometimes your humor is a buttload.
It is. Anyway, I think we better wrap things up. It's 9 o'clock. We could talk for another hour or two, but I have got to go to work tomorrow. My voice is probably dying.
I have class in the morning.
So, we at the Skeptic Sanctum plan to bring you, eventually, more guests. Well, more remotes from live events. I mean, we are doing that.
Yeah, we're
Every time we go out, we do that.
Sometimes even if we're just like not actually at a location, we're just live.
Yep. And even trying to be even more skeptical.
I've definitely done that. I'm definitely doing that.
Yeah, like we weren't skeptical enough already.
Mm-hmm.
And how can you keep track of it? Of course, if you're listening to us, you know where to find us. Go to Skeptic Sanctum Facebook page, Lantern Paranormal Facebook page, any other of our other affiliated pages. So you get times, dates, listings, and maybe one day we can have a live studio audience.
One day.
One day, yes. So you can come and interact with the skeptics and be online with us. Mm-hmm. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
One day.
Someday. Anyway. Well, wrap things up. We got to pay a legal bill. So, I want to thank everybody for listening to us tonight. And just so you know, so the lawyers can't come after us.
For mentioning things, posting pictures we've taken. Well, I didn't take the one at the J.C. Thompson building.
Yeah.
I can say that somebody else did that.
Right.
I think the Historical Society of...
East Liverpool?
Yes.
Maybe. Anyway, the opinions and facts expressed on the Skeptic Sanctum may or may not be factual, honest, truthful, or shared with anyone with any common sense. They may also not coincide with the beliefs, moral or otherwise, of the patriotic host, the Marxist capitalist host, the unpaid interns, or management. Whoever management is. The Skeptic Sanctum also reserves the right to refuse service if you are not wearing pants. Tax, title, and license not included. Offers not valid in the District of Columbia, the province of Quebec, the principalities of the valleys of Andorra, the country of Spain, the state of Michigan, and most parts of western Pennsylvania, including Pittsburgh. All right, everyone. Peace out. See you in a couple weeks. Maybe. We'll let you know.
Maybe.
Keep an eye on the Facebook pages and stay spooky, and we will see you next time.